Now that we've got our cast on stitches, we're going to actually want to work with them. In knitting, there are only really two stitches. There is a knit stitch and a purl stitch. There are some techniques for increasing and decreasing stitches as well, and the combination of knit and purl and the increases and decreases can create almost infinite variety of patterns for your knitted fabric. But what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to do a knit stitch. So you basically, what I do is I scrunch the stitches up closer to the end of the needle so that it's closer to the point where I'm working. You take your needle and you insert it into the front of the first stitch, and you go from the left hand side to the right hand side. You take your yarn, you wrap the yarn around the needle at the back, pull it through, and then you slip that stitch off. So it's through from left to right in the front loop, wrap the wool around the needle, pull it through and slip that stitch off. In the front, wrap the wool around, pull it through, slip the stitch off. And through the front, wrap it around, front, wrap, and pull it through. And after a while, when you have practice, you will be able to do this relatively quickly. And you just keep going like this until you get to the end of the row. Now, a lot of beginner patterns will be in garter stitch. What garter stitch is all knit rows, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. We're just getting to the end of the first row, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so there we have it. I've got some hair caught in it, yay. So there is your cast on edge, which with the cable method gives you a nice straight line that's relatively even. And your first stitch, your first row of knit stitches. Now we'll do another row. So you turn it, when you've done your first row, you just turn it so that the right side is facing away from you and the wrong side's facing towards you. And you just do the same thing for the next row. So you insert the needle into the front of the first stitch, wrap the yarn around the needle, pull it through and slip it off. So in the front, wrap it around, pull it through, slip the old stitch off. So exactly the same as the way we did the last one. So we'll just keep going to the end of the row. If you want to practice knitting, what I suggest you do is you start off with maybe some blanket squares. So you would cast on, like I did, maybe 25 stitches, depending on how big you want the square to be. And you just keep knitting the knit stitch on every row until your square is actually square. And when you do that, there will be more rows than there are stitches. So you'll have 25 stitches across, but you will have probably closer to like 28, 30 rows for it to be square, because when you're knitting, the stitches that you form are wider than they are high. So, like for example, if you have a look at the wool band here, most wool bands will have this on it. It's got gauge instructions around about here. I don't know if you can see that. So for 8 ply, it is 22 stitches and 30 rows for every 10 centimetre square. So if you wanted to do a 10 centimetre square, you'd cast on 22 stitches and you'd knit 30 rows. On your band, you will also have the designation of the wool, which is double knit. you will have the recommended needle size, which in this case is 4mm, and you will have that size in both US and UK sizes. Okay, so let's just get this next couple of rows done so that you can see what garter stitch looks like. Alright, so that's 4 rows done. Now if we turn it around, this is the front side, or the good side, and this is what it looks like. Now that's garter stitch, and this is what the back looks like. Basically the same. It's kind of a fabric that can go either way, but you'll notice the difference with a cast on edge. This one looks different to that one. Okay.